Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Start Your Day with a Coach. I am Sean Butner, certified high performance coach, and this week we've been talking about attitudes. So we've talked about how being defiant or being connected or being a leader can be helpful in this time. We've talked about groupthink versus critical thinking. Yesterday we talked about, I forgot where my note is, something else related to attitude as the theme of the week is. So if you're joining me for the first time, one, make sure you're subscribed either on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Hit that button. Number two, in the comments below, say hi. Say where you're from. If you have any questions, post those down there. We'll answer this because this is all about having your day started and centered in your performance. So why is attitude tied into your performance? Well, attitude is the thoughts and beliefs that shape your worldview. And so if you come into a situation with an attitude that you're looking to fight everyone, then you're going to realize that, and it's going to make it tougher for you to get people on your side, to be productive, unless, because productive in that term is defined in the fight. So this also came up because of just things that I've seen out in the world recently, and I thought that this would be a good thing to kind of, refresh. So those were a little bit more, earlier this week, a little bit more pointed. Today we're going to be a little bit more inspirational, I think, or I feel, because this is this attitude of thinking bigger for yourself. And, as people have been stuck at home, there's a lot of time to reflect, and using that time to think, what do I really want from my life is way more important at this point than anything else. So, whether that is a new dream for your business or a new level for your business or just for yourself, a new level of happiness, of contentment, maybe trying out, maybe trying out feeling, this is life, sorry guys. Water. Okay, so maybe you try out not commuting for a while. That's what I'm trying to say, but something caught in my throat. So, maybe that's happened for you. And you're like, maybe this is really awesome not to, spend the hour and a half fighting people that are angry or stressed or whatever. So what would your life, look like if you changed that going forward forever? Is it possible? Can you be working towards something like that? That's something for you to answer. But I have 3 questions for you to help you have this attitude of thinking big, of approaching the world with a little bit more wonder, with a little bit more of this, wow, I can shape my life. So I think that's important, especially when so many people feel like they've lost control with all the shelter in place type stuff. So, let's think big, and that's, wonder together. Let's approach life with a little bit more awe, with a little bit more enthusiasm, because we're working towards something that is meaningful to us and, can really change the quality of our lives for ourselves, for our loved ones, for our teams, for our business. Okay? So 3 questions to ask yourself, to think bigger. And the first one is what would 3 years from now look like? Now, it's not to say that in 3 years you're going to accomplish it, but this exercise of thinking in 3 years, I'm going to be, and thinking in a lot of detail of how does your place look? Did you move? Did you, figure out some furniture? Did you, get married? What's your day-to-day life? How's your living space? How's your work look? Can you imagine yourself in, transitioning into that job? When I say that instead of commute, because maybe, you're working closer to home. Maybe you're working out of your house. Maybe, you're traveling on a plane because you love to travel to all these different places for your job. But, how does that, start your workday go? step by step. Like, imagine yourself getting in the car and doing all that. Imagine your day at work. Imagine coming back, how that would work. So it's such an important question to be thinking and to get very granular in it, because it trains your mind to then go search for that opportunity. So again, first question is, what does 3 years ahead of you look like? And then, the natural question is, how can you break that down into, okay, so what are the big things you got to do to accomplish that? And then how can you break that down even more to start working towards that big dream? The second question to start thinking bigger is, what would bold action look like in that 3-year plan? And I love this question because so many times people are afraid of failing. People are afraid of putting themselves and being vulnerable. People are afraid of just looking silly or disappointing people. That if you were really going to do what you wanted to do and do it in a big and bold way, what would that look like in the next 3 years? I think for me, it'll be eventually hiring a team and getting an office. That's really daunting for me. I don't, want to be throwing a bunch of money towards rent and salaries and stuff. But I know that my next level for my business and for my sanity is going to be building a team. So that's something I've been keeping in the back of my mind as I'm building my business here at home. But what does that look like for you? What is that bold thing that seems a little risky, seems a little scary, where you're like, I'm not sure I should do this? But when you think it through and you're like, if I did this, it would be so much greater. My life would be so much better. I'd be able to serve with so much greater purpose and capability, and then plan to do that. That's what I'm pushing on you today. So, okay. The third question for thinking big after what does bold action look like in your life in the next 3 years is, what would be the craziest dream that you could have for yourself in 3 years? Like, what would be like absolutely out of what you think is possible? So is it like building a $1 billion business? Is it, learning how to play guitar and then playing with your favorite rock star or artist? Or, what is that big dream? And then I'm going to challenge you. How can you make it bigger? How can we shoot even bigger, have that big moonshot? Because so many times we get stuck in what we think is our capability or what we think we can accomplish, that we forget that sometimes those stretch goals, even if they're very not feasible, especially in the short term, it can limit your potential long term. So nobody says, I want to be an astronaut, but I don't want to go on a ship because I'm not capable of it. You can train for that. You can, get set up for that. And when the time comes, you can be ready to accomplish it. You don't say, I want to just train to be an astronaut. You want to say that I'm going to be, and then figure it out. Not really super strong on that analogy, but it's, 8 o'clock in the morning here in Berkeley, and it's Thursday, and I finished my coffee. So, yeah. That said, okay, so 3 questions again to help you think bigger for your life, or what does the next 3 years look like? What does bold action for you look like? And then what does your crazy dream look like? And how can you make it bigger? So pretty simple. I wanted to say too, guys, now that we're done with this, we are on day 4 of the Work From Home Challenge. And today it's an awesome session that we got at 10 o'clock today, Pacific Standard Time, where we're going to be talking about creating and setting boundaries. Because when you're at home and you're dealing with other people in the house and, pets, or, you have work that is now encroaching on every part of your life because they can reach you 24/7 if you can work from home, that it's such an important thing to say, these are my work hours, these are the procedures, these are my boundaries, and then communicating those continuously with the people there. So that's what we're talking about at 10 today. I'd love for you guys to join. It's if you're on Instagram, check the link in my bio. If you're on the Facebook or YouTube, we got this link coming up for you, SeanButler.com/WFH challenge. So we're about halfway through this iteration of the challenge, and it's been going great. Getting a lot of great feedback. I know people have been struggling with focus and distraction and keeping on schedule. We've talked about creating schedules and routines and setting up your environment already, and it's just building momentum for everyone that's joined that, and I'm really excited for it. So join up if you can. You'll get the emails and the replays for this week, which will be taken down, I think, in like 5 days. I need to have that at the top of my head. But yeah, so you want to get on this as soon as possible and keep up with those guys and really learn how to 10 times your productivity at home. Because, productivity in this case, too, is also stress management. So you want to be taking care of yourself. You want to be taking care of your stress levels. Because the longer that we work from home or the longer that we're stuck at home, the more we need to be cognizant and have the tools to make sure that we can, manage stress and not take it out on the people and pets around us. So that said, guys, these are going a bit longer than I had initially intended, but I like it. If you have questions, again, post them below. Make sure you subscribe on Instagram, on Facebook, or YouTube, wherever you're seeing this. That would be great and helpful. Hope you guys love these. I love doing them for you. You guys are doing a great job pushing forward, doing what you can in the world, and I want to appreciate that. So keep it up, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.